This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Burke, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast.
Diggity dank.
Hello and welcome to another week of the Nightwing news. I am Phil. Joining me as always is...
Hi, I'm Kristen.
That's right. Today, whenever you hear
You like
it.
my Mario mustache?
Oh, jeez. Go play with your cat's butt. Anyway, yes, tonight we have two more classic issues to cover. Batman Gotham Knights 20 and 21, October, November 2001.
Wow.
Good. It doesn't seem like 19 years old.
No, it does. It doesn't. Of course, I didn't read them 19 years ago. So at least for me, it hasn't been 19 years.
Well, some of us did. All right. So
I don't think I read them till like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. But yes,
which is still a while ago.
Yes, two more Devin Grayson issues who we'll be talking to very soon.
All right. Ooh, wrong one. He's up first.
So yeah, no new issue of Nightwing yet. So
probably not for a couple more weeks, right?
Yeah, it's
probably
only a month. So yeah. So should we get into these?
I'd say let's dive right into these gems.
Batman Gotham Knights number 20.
So actually, let's start with, I feel like it's not super important, the crime that's going on in here. It's important for the background since it's about fathers and sons. But has this person been in a previous issue? Because I kind of forget.
I don't think so.
Okay. Because I just was like, what's going on? What's going on here? And it's like the son is trying to... It's a mobster dad and his mobster son, and the son's trying to edge the dad out, I guess. Okay.
And I love this art by Brian Boland. Oh, no, Roger Robinson. What am I saying? Boland. I think that was the cover. Yeah. Yeah, no, Roger Robinson on the inside. Yeah. Like that first page.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
But yeah, Batman.
Also, I just want to point out that, look at Dave Chappelle. Mine has these advertisements of James Chappelle, and he's so young. Obviously, it's 19 years ago, so we were all 19 years younger then. But when I first saw that, I was like, oh my God, is that Dave Chappelle? And then I looked down and saw, oh, yes, it's labeled Dave Chappelle. Like,
I'm rich.
It's Dave Chappelle. So, side note, shout out to Dave Chappelle's deodorant ad.
Well, yeah. They're importing heroin, I guess. Yeah.
Well, that's what mobsters do.
Yeah, and the father's like, keep my son, stop my boy before he gets himself killed. He asked Batman.
All I have. And then, is this the first time we find out that Talia is running Lex Luthor's company, or has that been established before?
I don't think it's the first time, because I know this comes up in Superman 2, because after Lex becomes president, he appoints Talia head of LexCorp.
Yep. Also, every time they anglicize her name and they're like, oh, would you like to leave a message for Miss Head? I'm like, that's so weird.
Oh, yeah, get a demon's head, yeah.
I know. It's like, I guess I wouldn't want my last name to be Demon either, but the last name of Head, it just sounds weird.
I guess you wanted something that didn't sound Middle Eastern, maybe?
I don't know. I would just stick with Al Ghul because it sounds awesome.
Yeah, she could have made up anything, really.
Well, yeah, that's true. She could have just been like Smith.
Her father's how old? You know how many names he's probably had?
Right. Well, she's kind of old too, isn't it? Kind of hinted at that she's older than she looks.
I think, but yeah, nowhere near as old as Roz. Yeah.
Well, yeah. She's one of his younger kids.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I guess her and Bruce had a meeting, and she didn't show up.
Yeah, it's some other random person, and he's like, "If I knew I wasn't at this meeting with Talia, I wouldn't have shown up."
Well, he had to come to Metropolis though, too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like it's so far. I mean, it's like an hour.
So,
but yeah, and then he's like, "Tell her I said no message."
Yeah, he's leaving the building, and then it's like, something I can do for you, Clark.
I know, he's so rude to Superman. Superman's just like, I just wanted to say what's up. He's trying to be your friend.
He's changing in a phone booth. But yeah,
then
Clark's like, just wondering what brings you to Metropolis. I'll be going by dinner. What, am I supposed to clear my travel plans with you?
It's like, no, I just, want to say hey. And he's like, yeah, I'm stressed because the daughter, one of my arch enemies, is running Lexus company. He's like, yeah, I didn't see that one coming. It's true. And then, of course, Bruce being so... And then what is the falling? Is this been established? Because I haven't read the issue where they describe the falling out between Talia and her dad.
I know in some detective issues right after No Man's Land, I think they were having a thing, but I don't know if it's just like, that she accepted Lex Luthor's offer and, is basically helping him instead of Rot.
Okay, so that could be it. So there isn't like some huge blow up that I missed. Okay. But yeah, then Bruce so mean. He's like, I'm sure he thinks, how's he handling this alone? I'm thinking it's my fault. Why? Because he blames his falling out with his daughter on her feelings for you. Come to think of it, I'm sure you think the whole thing is your fault. The only thing I can imagine feeling worse about would be letting one of my arch enemies take over the White House. And then Classic Clark. Sometimes it's a wonder anyone's still talking to you, Bruce. Yeah, that was pretty mean.
Oh yeah, then they both have to take calls. So yeah, Bruce is on his phone and Clark has to take off.
Yeah, I think Clark's just listening to the air.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but remember, Bruce gets a call from his lawyer, Rachel Green. Remember?
Rachel Green. That's right. And she happens to be wearing green when he goes to visit her. So she's very on point.
Because someone's contesting the adoption.
Yeah, which is kind of like, what? It's like, it doesn't. I take family very seriously. Who's Yoska Krasinska?
Because it's weird. Because they're like, it's weird. He's been your ward for years. Plus, he's an adult now, so it should be a no-brainer.
Yeah. And it pretty much is a no-brainer. I mean, he can't stop the adoption, but he's like, hey. So, yeah. Then we get to this hilarious exchange where Barbara's doing some checking as Oracle, and Batman is coming up on Nightwing, and she says, psst, Hunk Wonder, you've got company. Mm-hmm. And he's like, please tell me you're not using the open channel, which we find out at the end she was.
So yeah, Batman's asking him about this guy, and because he says he's your paternal grandfather, and it's like, that's not possible. Aerialist shows like mine are passed down through the generations. If my dad's father had been alive, he would have been a part of our circus show with us.
Yep. Anyway, I thought you checked this stuff out years ago. And then here's Bruce again, totally putting his foot in it like he does with Clark. I did, but your people are notoriously difficult to keep track of. My people, what's that supposed to mean? And he's like, you know what I mean. I was like, why don't you say circus people are difficult to keep track of? Robin's like, and he's like, oh, vagrants, itinerants. And I'm not going to say it because now, I mean, I don't know what the situation was in 2001, but we're not really supposed to use the G word anymore. So that is like one kind of thing when I read this. I'm like, oh, a little bit mars the perfection.
Yes.
And then, of course, again, Bruce, he's still stepping in it, like, and they're hot-blooded tempers, and poor Barbara's like, ugh.
I mean, I guess you could say maybe Batman's not politically correct, maybe?
No, he's not being politically correct, but he's also being a douche.
I know.
Like, why? He made a mistake. You know, you're never supposed to say you people. And then he had the opportunity to say, my bad, I meant circus because you're itinerant. But of course, Dick's like, oh, is that an ethnic slur? And then Bruce, like an idiot, does not retract and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Instead, he's like, yeah, people like you and their hot-blooded tempers. You're like, oh my God, Bruce, what? Which is exactly, I totally feel like Barbara in this exchange, how she's even like, on the keyboard. Because, of course,
Bruce is like, because Bruce is like, meet with this guy. And Dick's like, why would I meet with him? Because I told you to.
Like, oh, you're going to need a better reason than that. And then finally, I love Barbara stepping in. Dick, listen to me. You're a grown man. Noah's going to come and take you away from Bruce, okay? And you, if you have any idea what this adoption means to your long-suffering ward, you'll consider cutting him a little emotional slack. And then I love Dick, how he has his tiny little words like, sorry, I overreacted. I'll go see them. And you look down at the picture and he's even like shuffling his feet.
Mm-hmm.
He's like such a little kid, like, I got yelled at by mom. Bruce, of course, though, is never repentant. He's not like, oh yeah, sorry with those ethnic slurs. He's just like, thanks, hunk wonder. I mean, it's kind of funny though, because it's such a Bruce. Such a Bruce thing to do. But I do love Barbara in that. She's like, Dick, you're a grown man. No one's going to take you away from Bruce. It is like politically incorrect, but also kind of cute. So then Dick shows up somewhere. I guess it's in Gotham.
Yeah, it looks like a not the classiest hotel.
Yep. Yoska. And they're like trying to meet with everybody. Okay, so then like what's going on here? Who are they threatening? Are they threatening the dad or are they Oh, they're threatening the judge.
Yeah.
Okay. They're threatening the judge to get the bail because the kid wants his dad bailed out.
Or I think yeah. But you're gonna rule in favor of bail in the amount of precisely $16 million.
Yeah, okay.
And the judge is even saying, it's your fault. You wouldn't even be in custody if it was you, because you don't have half the record your old man does.
Yeah, so the cop, or excuse me, the judge is even like throwing it in his face. Oh, right, he wants the guy bailed out because he wants to launder money through the bail office. Okay, Got it. So they're threatening the judge, and then the judge's son.
Yep.
Comes in
with a gun. Yep.
Yeah. And so now it's another little father-son situation.
And I mean this kid's stupid. He's telling the judge exactly what he does.
Yeah, the mobster kid.
Yeah. He's like, I bet I didn't even know where your son bought that gun, huh? Mm-hmm. So yeah, so those two are the kids are
Batman busts in. And he's like, stop being dumbasses, basically.
Yeah, because this gangster kid's even like, because he's like, Batman's like, wants to know what's this, I guess, of these set of foreigners he's working with. He's like, what do they want with Gotham? He's like, what do you think? Best place for dumping people, whether it's a plague or a quake or, forcing everyone out. City Hall can tell you who should be here and who shouldn't be.
Well, that's all the mobster kid.
Yeah, but then the judge's son points a gun in Batman's face. That's not a good idea.
Well, kinda. And then you can tell he's scared about it. And then Batman takes it and is like, I guess he uses that gun to knock the gun out of the other guy's hand.
Grabs them both by the neck.
He's like, father's worried about you.
Don't squander that privilege, and disappears.
Yep. All right. Then we're back. Dick has taken Yoska to meet Bruce. And now Dick is just finding out. Because is it after the quake that Tim goes to Brentwood? Was he at Brentwood before the quake too?
No, because like when he snuck back into Gotham, his dad got all mad, so he puts him in boarding school like right after No Man's Land.
Okay, that's right. Oh right, but Dick knows that already because he picked Tim up. Right, that was in the earlier issue. 8. He picks him up. But Alfred didn't go with Tim to Brentwood right away?
Yeah, no, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was during another storyline. Yeah, Alfred was all mad at Bruce, so he left for a while because he's like, "Where's Alfred with Tim? Where's Tim?"
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I think this might be the point. Tim's mad at Bruce too because at one point when Bruce can't find Tim, Bruce is the one who tells Stephanie Brown Tim's identity.
Oh, right.
And, and Tim's like, that wasn't your secret to tell. He's like, I haven't told anyone your secret. He's like, I haven't even told my own father
that I'm Robin. Yeah. That was a douche move, Bruce. What the heck? Mm-hmm. Bruce, it's getting too close to someone. Gotta deliberately sabotage it. Okay, got it. So that's what it is. Okay. So then he's like, where's Alfred? With Tim. Where's Tim? And then Bruce is not answering him. And
it offers Yoska a drink.
And then Yoska says, I know why you're here. I know the secret. Mm-hmm. To be continued, snap. They left people hanging for a month.
Yep.
How'd you deal back 19 years ago, Phil?
I don't remember.
See, I had the joy. This was years over, so as soon as I was done with that one, I was like, oh, let's read the next one. So I was only in suspense for like 10 seconds. But this one, pretty sweet.
I was gonna say, you want to retcon it? Hey, this is the evil uncle finally coming back after what was that? Our first or second episode this year.
Oh, Uncle George! Yeah. Oh man, I know because Devin's done some. That's funny. Well, that's funny. Yeah, she should have had it be his uncle. That would have been hilarious if it had been Uncle George. But I don't know. I guess being a grandpa is more sympathetic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just noticed the Flying Grayson's picture back there has lots more people in it. Although maybe it's supposed to be like the strong man or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. Because it's always ever just been Dick and his parents. Yep. Well, except sometimes in Young Justice. And okay, so what is the secret? Oh my gosh, they're still keeping us hanging on the first page.
Bruce is like, what do you suppose he means by that, Dick?
Like, and he says, okay.
And Yoska's like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that in front of him. He's like, basically telling Dick, oh, I know what you're up to. You want to get adopted so you can like steal all his money.
Yeah, but first I have to point out how when he's like, oh, let me take you away to do it. He's like, Rika, I know. And Dick's like, stop calling me that. My name is Dick. And look at Bruce's little smirky smile down there.
Mm-hmm.
He's so like, oh, and Bruce is like, I'm winning. Even though he's not going to admit it, that's what he's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, yeah, you want to steal his money. And Dick laughs so hard, the whole background is ha, ha, ha. That's how hard he's laughing.
Because he's like, I've known Bruce since I've been 8. He's like, how bad of a thief would I have to be?
He's like, no, it's good to be careful and take your time. Then, boom, we're back at the prison. And he's like, I'll get you out soon. And he's like, tell your guys, I need them to meet me in Bloodhaven tonight.
They try to set up another deal, which I guess is why he wanted the 16 million bail exactly.
Yep. He'll do what you tell him. And then Bruce is talking with Barbara. And he's like, he isn't lying, but he isn't telling the truth. And Barbara's like, I'm confused.
Yeah, because he's like, he isn't lying. That's what concerns me. If you don't think he's lying, why are you concerned? Because I don't think he's telling the truth. What? He isn't.
Although, I feel like if he's not lying, Bruce is also concerned, but for a different reason that he doesn't want to say.
Well, he says he isn't lying to us, but someone else is lying to him.
Yeah.
And then
Dick has taken Yoska to visit his apartment, which his apartment is so different looking. I love how they draw his apartment in this book better than, because his apartment, the art in the main Nightwing when McDaniel, and as we've said before, his art kind of like my eye, I don't know, it doesn't work for my eyes. It kind of glazes over and I can't get it. This art is very specific, and the apartment actually looks pretty snazzy in here with its exposed brick and stuff. It's very like
again,
downtown loft.
Yeah, it's just different from artist to artist too. Yeah,
right. Yeah, but I mean, if I were Dick, I'd be like, hey, I want to live in this apartment. Keep drawing me in this apartment.
Yoska's like, why don't you live at the man? Why doesn't he let you live at the manor? He's like, he would if I asked, but I have a life here now.
And he's like, this is not life. All you have is rent and a job. I was like, sadly, that's what most people's lives are.
But yeah, he's talking about Dick's father, your father, John. So,
and then he's like, but how is it that he came to die? And I don't know. I feel like Dick's starting to have some questions. I mean, I don't know. Dick had questions before. Yeah. It's like, you don't even know.
Well, he's telling Yosuke, he was murdered. A man wanted money, cut the trapeze wire. And depending on who tells the story, he died or didn't die right away or not right away.
Right, yeah. The guy, yes. Is he in jail now? Well, that's why we don't get the answer. Because I think Tony Zuko's in jail now. I think that's the continuity.
Yeah.
And then we see, someone's watching them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, he even has a sniper rifle. Yep.
Oh, yes, there's where it is. He's like, I wanted to see you free and happy and living like a king. And that's where Dick is like, oh, yeah, my life is good. I owe it to Bruce. And he realizes, wait, how did you know I was living like a king and was free and happy before you got here? Yeah. That's where it's really ding, 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 suspicious. I mean, it was suspicious before, but now you have something to put your finger on. Like, this is what's suspicious.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess Dick must hear it or something, because, I mean, that's my only question is, how do you suddenly go from, wait, somebody told you something suspicious about me, to, hold on, you're about to get shot? Like, so I'm wondering if he heard the bullet or something.
I don't know if Dick saw something, maybe a glint off.
Maybe he saw something. Because, yeah, he is looking, I guess he is looking out the window, we're supposed to think.
Or unless he sees Bruce kicking the guy.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Down, and then Bruce is,
but I mean, all during this whole thing, the gangs, their kids has a deal going down. It doesn't look like it's going good. But yeah, a sniper gets a shot off at Yo's gun, and Bruce takes him down.
And then Dick starts to realize, so wait, who told you? See, look how cool his apartment is now. Look, he even has a fireplace, man.
I know.
Bruce, where is he? Let's skip over quick. We'll get back to the Oz. And he was a nice man named Ooglu Al Ghul. He's like, Al Ghul? What? If I had known that in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because the sniper was Ubu.
Yes.
But he says, take the gun. My mission is accomplished. I am to return to my master now.
He's like, you missed. You haven't accomplished anything. And then, okay.
And Dick's like asking Yosuke, he's like, Ra's al Ghul sent you after me? He helps me find you is all. I don't understand. I thought you'd be happy to see me.
And he's like, and then Ubu's like, it doesn't matter if you understand. I was told to fire and miss, so I'm done.
Yep. And then
what we see happening quick, because really it's more important, the Bruce and Dick story, but somehow whoever it was that whoever it was the son teamed up with was like, hey, we heard your old man brought you only trouble. And what they're doing is they're killing the old man's guys, right? Wow, because they had his son bring him, and they're like trying to send the old guy a message that we can kill your guys and manipulate your son. You're a has-been, basically. And the son they pretty much used as a patsy. And then Bruce is like, leave. And then Dick finally says, is this your son? And we're going to find out that is...
Yeah, finally someone thinks to pull out a picture, yeah.
Yeah. And then somehow, though, Batman, I don't know, is this happening really close to Dick's apartment?
I don't know.
Because suddenly Batman jumps down and he's like, stay. And then he goes running away.
Yeah, I mean, unless that whole deal was going down later on. I don't know.
All right, then he...
Cleaning the house.
Busts up all the people. And then Batman's like, yeah, all right. And then, yeah, the son is, like... I thought they were going to hook me up.
How could
they played me.
Yeah. The double crosser's like, how could they double cross me? They were my dad's friends.
Yep. But it's like, they're mobsters. People are double crossing each other all the time. Batman's like, yeah, you can ask him to forgive you when you're in prison.
Yep.
And then, there's a knock on the door of Dick's apartment. And Yoska, I guess, is giving him his cop gun.
Yep.
But Dick's like, I don't really need it, but Yoska is like, take it. And I assume he figures this dude doesn't know that I'm Nightwing and can beat up anyone that comes through here. So he's like, okay.
Yeah, so it ends up,
And then, of course, it's Bruce who is probably like, you know how much I hate guns. But he's like, sorry, Bruce, come in.
Yep, and Bruce greets Yoska. Yoska's like, I owe you an apology, Mr. Wayne. I should not have believed, but there are lies more believable than truth.
And then he says, I take it you did lose a son, and I'm sorry. Dick and I can help you track down your real family. And then Dick is like, you could stay. Family isn't always about blood, He's like, no, I need to go. You have no need of me. You have enough family right here. Although, doesn't Yoska pop up again?
I'm trying to remember, unless maybe once. I can't remember.
Yeah, I felt like he was in the apartment once, or I don't know, maybe he came to visit.
Or maybe when, I don't know, unless it was when Devin was writing the Nightwing book. I can't remember.
Yeah, I thought he appeared in another one. Well, whatever. So be it.
But then, yeah, Ubu's flying out. He's at the airport.
And he's like, I'm uninjured. What was the point of that? He's like,
physical pain is a novice torture when compared to the mental anguish of doubt. In other words, Ubu, mess with mine, I'll mess with yours. Because remember, he blames Bruce for Talia.
Yeah, because he's looking at a picture of Talia. So, yeah, the whole thing, the whole reason was, yes, Race just wanted to mess with Bruce.
Yeah. So, I mean, Race is pretty rich, right? I mean, is he making Ubu a coach? Is there like private plane waiting for you? Don't you think you'd want to smuggle this attempted murderer out of the country pretty quick? Because it looked like he's just at the airport, like,
Yeah, he definitely is just at the airport. I don't know. Maybe they figured it'd be less conspicuous that way.
Well, I guess they figured. And Batman.
I mean, because he's not taking the gun with him, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And then I find this so interesting. Bruce's long explanation.
Yeah, because Bruce is asking him, did it feel good to have family again? He's like, yeah, it was cool to hear Romania again, and I always wondered about my father's side of the family. But then he wants to know, Roz went to all this trouble, then why have Ubu shoot him? But then he says, Dick, you have to understand, Roz knows how you think. Roz blames me for his current problems with Talia. Hearing that I was planning to officially adopt you, he wanted to prove to me how easily he could come between me and my heir.
Right, but Dick's like, that's ridiculous. It didn't make me doubt my relationship with you. Bruce is like, he wasn't after your doubt, Dick. Dick's like, wait a minute. You thinking I had a living relative would be enough to make you doubt my loyalty? Which is kind of offensive. And then Bruce is like, no, it was enough to make me doubt my right to it. So then he's like, wait, so he did all this just to make you feel like you should have left me in the orphanage? But like, yeah, basically that is what he did. I was like, and then why shoot Yoska? He's like, oh, that was to play you and to remind you that your loyalty is easily come by.
It's often anyone you deem in jeopardy.
It's like, I don't attach myself to anyone I mean in some kind of trouble. And then Bruce like, Barbara? He's like, hey, that's not fair. Huntress? Okay, maybe she was having a hard time. And then he's like, Corey? Okay, maybe you have a little bit of a point. But it's good. Dick's a good person.
Yeah. Bruce, that persecuted alien warrioress who was literally chased here by hostile extraterrestrial slavers.
I mean, okay, when you put it that way, Bruce, jeez. You could have been like the Tamaranian princess.
But yeah, as they're going to put the papers in, Dick's like, you don't think I'm happy? You don't think I'm happy about you officially adopting me just because I worry about you, do you?
Yeah, which we saw because he was like, where's Alfred? Where's Tim? You're here all alone? That's not good.
Yeah.
But then Bruce is like, no, compassion is a good quality. Oh.
Last line. What's the last line? I know.
One any father would be pleased to see in his son.
Oh.
It is. Oh. Because, yes, that is a better way of putting it. Because it's a little bit rude, honestly, for Ra's al Ghul to be like, I'm going to shoot this guy to just, like, rub it in. But, I mean, I think it's all part of the, like, trying to doubt, like, trying to make Bruce doubt his right to Dick's loyalty. Because he's like, oh, Dick will help out anyone who's in trouble. But, I mean, to a certain extent, like, Bruce kind of does as well. Because isn't that the whole point of Batman?
I think he's just saying, with Dick's more
he's more open about it.
Dick's more emotional about the whole thing.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Yes, Dick is more overtly compassionate. Well, and Dick is compassionate as both Dick and as Nightwing.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce tries to, like, keep it a little more separate. I mean, obviously he's still compassionate as Bruce Wayne because, he does charity and philanthropy, all that kind of stuff. But, mostly he shows people like kind of kind of like a doofy side of him so that they don't connect him with Batman.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's good. It's it is so interesting. And I mean, it's pretty cool. You're like, that does really sound like something Ra's al Ghul would do. That he would be like, I'm just gonna mess with you because I'm mad at you. And definitely, if somebody could like brainwash somebody into thinking that this was their grandson, it would be Ra's al Ghul.
Oh yeah,
for sure. But yeah, I just find that's.
Well, I
just find that's slightly a weird spin that Bruce is putting on.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is before the whole thing too.
What?
This is before the whole, they revealed Damien's alive and everything, and
yeah. Dick is also very compassionate towards Damien, who is someone who's also in jeopardy.
He's the one who originally made him Robin.
Right. Well, but then, I mean, that's obviously why he's like, wait, you don't think it's just because I worry about it. Like, it's not just because I'm compassionate towards you that I'm stoked about this. And he's like, no, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. Which is good.
So, yeah, I mean, it was a nice story. I mean, it wasn't, not a lot of action, but I think is, stuff you like the Bruce Dick connection. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. But I mean, it is a different. It's definitely a different kind of story. Like,
oh yeah,
fake relative coming up, which I feel like that was always what. Because of course I read this story before I think I actually read the one that I had us read earlier, the one about Bruce Wayne loses custody of Dick Grayson. So of course when I read that one, my immediate thought was, I bet this George is faking it. I bet he's not even really Dick's relative. He's just pretending. But I think they didn't really worry about that in the 40s. I think he's supposed to be Dick's relative, but they're like, whatever, we don't care. This is a one-off kind of thing. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, I think this one's good. Has some other awesome I feel like maybe the first one where they actually do the adoption, maybe like a little bit more gets you, because Bruce is always like, passing things down from father to son, that's the only true meaning of forever. And you're like, oh my God. I'm not crying, you're crying. And this one is maybe not quite that emotional, but it's getting close.
Oh yeah.
Because he's like, compassion is an honorable quality, which it is.
Mm-hmm.
Number one virtue to have if you're a Janus.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, it is kind of a cool, like you said, it just totally feels like the kind of thing Ra's al Ghul would do. So I don't know. It's kind of funny and amusing to see Ra's al Ghul do something that's like so low level.
Yeah.
Instead of like, I'm going to try to screw the whole world over and kill millions. He's like, I'm just going to deliberately mess with your head, Bruce Wayne, because I can. It's like sometimes it's good to know you're petty too, Ra's al Ghul.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right.
So that was a good one. And also, as we said, I really love how they drew Dick's apartment in this one.
Oh yeah. Very nice.
That's like the best. Oh, and then also I think I like it because at the end of 21, this is where they have the letter column for issue 17, which is when the adoption actually happened. And so there's some pretty good ones. Where they're like, regarding Bruce finally, in italics, adopting Dick as his son, it's about time. Bruce should have done this years ago. And then Devin has made this the best fledgling, has made this fledgling title the best of all the current Bat titles. And then this one, hello folks. Issue 17 was a perfect example of why I like Devin Grayson's writing so much. Not only did we get a solid Batman Nightwing team up with an interesting new villain, but some wonderful and surprising characterization. When I got to page 4 and saw Dick struggling to tell Batman he has the feelings for Barbara, I thought this would be the high point of the story. Then on page 18, Barbara had Dick squirming, and I thought that was the high point. And then I turned the page. Oh my God, could it be? Was he really? Yes, finally. After all these years, decades even, Dick is Bruce's son. I can't recall the last time a comic gave me warm fuzzies like this. And it works so beautifully. The dialogue hit just the right note, sentimental but not mushy. Batman was at a loss for words, but Dick could say it for him. Rarely do we get such a look at the human side of the human inside the Bat. Thank you, Devin. Thank you very much. And I did not write that letter. It's by some guy named Scott Randall in Riverside, California. So rock on, Scott Randall. Amazing letter. You put it all into words. But someone else was like, that was good. I like it. And I was digging the story about legacy. And I appreciate the two bullets didn't rob Bruce of all emotion. And he could say, I love you, even if he does in his own way. But I want to see Batman hitting things next month. No more mushy stuff. And that came via AOL. Another blast from the past.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got.
All right. So before we get out of here, I was going to tell everyone what's coming up next. Well, all right. Well, if you watch this on the YouTube next week, I mean, unless we have to go to our backup date next week, we'll be talking to Devin Grayson. So if you watch on the YouTube, you'll see that next. If you just listen to the podcast, you're gonna have to wait like 3 episodes.
But they'll also be hearing this 3 episodes later. So
yes.
Fine.
But
if you watch on the YouTube, it's at a different time.
True.
So what time is it, Phil?
What?
Well, if they want to tune in, they need to know what time.
Oh, Monday, August 3rd at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Because it's same Nightwing channel, but not same Nightwing time.
Nope.
Different Nightwing time.
Had to work with Devin's schedule, yes.
That's right.
But next time on the podcast, you'll hear Batman and Nightwing Bloodborne and Batman 615 in the middle of Hush. Yep.
Okay, so that's 2 weeks from now.
Well, on the podcast, it won't be.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
So, as I say, on the podcast, it's that, then the Outsiders, and then the Devin episode.
Okay. All
right. So, yeah, I know it's complicated, but no matter how you listen, eventually you'll hear the Devin interview. So
that's right.
But anyway, yes, send your thoughts on all of that, especially thoughts for Devin. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And follow Nightwing News on Facebook, Twitter. Follow all of our links to the YouTube we were talking about, our new Patreon where we've been talking Star Trek, everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support our sponsors, Tweaked Audio, Hunt a Killer, Pod Life the book, now in digital and paperback. And when you go on Amazon to buy any of that, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help support this show, the network, and Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom.
Oh, yeah, and go buy Dick Grayson Boy Wonder on Amazon also. You know what? Oh, you know what I should do? I should go on. Did I write a review for that already? I was going to say, if I didn't, I should go on Amazon and write a review and say, this book is so
diggity dank. Oh, yes, please do. Please give us 5 stars.
5 diggity dank stars.
Diggity dank.
And of course, you have no plugs as usual. Go buy the book and review it, diggity dank.
Diggity dank.
So yes, thank you for joining us once again. Like we said, we got lots of good stuff coming up. We got Devin coming up. Well, that works out good. I mean, scheduling wise, we won't have Devin the same week we have a new issue, so. Devin our full attention. But yes, don't miss it. Good stuff. Alrighty. So you got your homework. Come back next time. Same wing. Well, somewhat same wing time.
Same wing channel.
Nightwing News. Flying Grayson.